What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. here with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a special guest today, the president and co-founder of HBCU Go, Mr. Curtis Symonds. How's it going, Mr. Symonds?
Hey, Jeff, man, it's an honor to be here today, man. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing all right. I am doing all right. And so, Mr. Symonds, I want to take it back a little bit. I talked about you're a co-founder of HBCU Go, you're the president of HBCU Go. There's so much going on with HBCU Go, and with the football season quickly approaching, it'll be here. Starts now, but we'll blink and we'll have games on Go. Just take me back to the creation of HBCU Go. Where did that idea come from? Where did you want the platform to be when you and your co-founders created it? Just take me back to that thought process.
Well, it actually started out, Jeff, as a thought of as a production company. I've been in the media business for about 40 plus years. Helped to create a lot of classics over my years at BET and ESPN. And so when I left ESPN in 2001, I had to deal with about 4 different classics to cover the television rights to cover the games. And I was talking to, at that time, TV One, about creating a black college football night like NBC did for, call it night football. And so I went to a buddy of mine, older seasoned veteran in the media business, was trying to talk to him about joint venturing with me on creating this production company. He said, man, look, I don't do anything like that. He said, you've always been in this HBCU circle. He said, you just think about doing a channel. And I was like, man, I ain't got that kind of money to be rolling out for no channel in today's world. He said, why don't you put a business plan together and bring it back to me? Let me see what it looks like. Well, that time, Jeff, I thought, because he had basically bought a bunch of companies and helped fund some companies, that he was looking to maybe be my jumpstart. So I did my business plan, brought it back to him. He loved it. He said, hey, man, why don't you take this out to Comcast and pitch them on the channel? And so I said, it's not a bad idea. So I went to Comcast and met with them for about 30 minutes. They kind of stopped me midway through my presentation and said, Curtis, we get it. You don't need to, to tell us no more. We get it. So, I waited. I figured, a short conversation, I was going to get that standard answer. Hey, man, we like it, but ain't too much we're going to do. Instead, they called me back and said, we're going to do a 20-year deal with you. We're going to give you 3.5 million subscribers. We're going to charge we're going to basically let you go out at 7.5 cents a sub. I said, shit, this is right on the money. I got to get you. I started, I've been in the business. I'm started calling on my other cable friends saying, listen, man, I locked this Comcast deal down. You in. From Time Warner and Charter and all the other big boys in the business. So I knew all of them, and they were like, look, man, you get your Comcast deal done on a linear side, we're in. So we were going through it and basically working on getting the deal done. And then Comcast bought NBC Universal, and my world changed. And it was like, we can't do the deal now. We got a lot of different things happening. We just can't make it happen. And so I had to pivot. So the next thought I thought was how can I do a digital channel? Less cost, but that's where everybody's at today with phones and computers, more fast paced. Yes. And so I started rolling it out, man, and started getting some flavor and some vibe off of it. A lot of people liked it, but couldn't get anybody to really bring a real check to the table. So I got a few people started me off, gave me a few dollars to help me keep it going. And me and my co-founder, Clint Evans, and a couple other people, Kurt Symonds, and a few other people who just helped me just grind it out, man. And we grinded it out for like 11 years. And then in October of last year, Byron bought a company. And he believed in what we're doing, knows what I've done in the media business, and said, listen, this is the time is right. We need to be doing more in the HBCU circle. And I was like, hell yeah, we do. Let's make this happen. Let's try to go. I said, you get 2 icons like myself and you together. Let's show white America that 2 black men can come together and build a business. And so that's really what we're doing right now, and trying to make this grow. And so we're excited about it, Jeff. I mean, we're very, very excited about it, man. And the whole company's behind us. We've gotten some major support from every different division. Everyone stepped up, man, and helped out, man, and it's launched. It's starting off this Saturday with our pregame show. We're doing a 3-hour pregame show. We'll be on at 12 noon and going till 3 p.m. So we're very, very, very excited, man, about the kickoff show.
Yes, and you spoke about coming together with Byron Allen after the events that have taken place the last few years in our country. Just talk to me about you guys were grinding out. You said for a long time, and then Byron Allen, AMG, they come to the table. What was that like? How did those conversations get started? And it seems like the partnership's going pretty well, wouldn't you say?
Well, it was kind of a funny conversation because how it really got started was that a friend of mine who's out there in LA, Marcus King, owns a big company, a big venture company, does a lot of movies and stuff out there, called me one day and said, "Hey, man, Byron just gave you like a monster endorsement to Billboard Awards." I said, "Endorsement?" I said, "What are you talking about?" And as he said that, his right-hand person, Janice Aurora, who's our president of distribution, called me and said, "Hey, Curtis, I need to send you this link of what Byron said about you at the Billboard Awards." Well, it was like 10:30 at night. And I'm like, "Man, I was too tired looking at that." So the next morning I look at it, and she told me where to go to find the piece where he was talking about. So the interview was actually said, "Well, Mr. Allen, why are you suing Comcast for this $20 billion deal?" And he said, "Well, the real reason is a good friend of mine, Curtis Symonds, was trying to do this HBCU Sports Network, and Comcast wouldn't give him a channel, and that pissed me off. And I really said, now I'm coming after him." And so I was like, I figured he was in that light, was talking. I sent him a little note saying, "Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the word." Then about 4 months later, he was on the Breakfast Club. Asked him the same question. He came back with the same answer. I was like, okay, wait a minute now. We got something going on here, And so from there, that's when, to me, I had to pivot. And I called him. I said, "Byron, man, we need to figure something out." And he was like, "Yeah, let me get through this and let me get back to you." Well, when he did that, he kept working. And he didn't get all the dollars he was looking, but he got a great distribution package. And I called him after that and said, "Byron, look, man, how can we work together?" He said, "Well, what do you need, Curtis?" I said, "Look, man, I really need an investor." He said, "Look, let me tell you how I work. I don't invest, I buy." I said, "Whoa, you want to buy my network?" He said, "Put something together. Let's talk about it." And that's how it all came about, Jeff. We knew each other from my BET life, and he been following my years and know what I meant to the industry, So it's a great partnership, man, a great partnership. And I'm proud to be a part of Allen Media Group. For me, Jeff, I'm 67 years old, man. It's my second go round, man. And it's like, what way could I be sent out better by working for another black-owned company? I
understand that.
Can't say
I understand that.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's good to know. And you bring out some good points. And since you guys have been a part of the Allen Media Company, a part of the brand, you guys have struck the deal with the SWAC. Talk to me about how that came about. What that partnership has been like so far, and what you look forward to from that partnership in the future.
Well, I'm gonna give a lot of credit to Charles McClellan and his team at the SWAC, the commissioner, because I came to him and said, "Look, we should work together." And all the conferences are tied up by ESPN, as far as the first rights. And I said, "Look, let's figure out a way that let them take the first right. I'm fine with it. And then let me work from there." And he was able to really wheel a deal, and ESPN was gracious enough to give him some space and, develop something that made a lot of sense for us. And it reminded me a lot of, I was part of the NFL deal with ESPN, when we were going after Monday Night Football, or NFL rather, ABC, NBC, and CBS were like, "Oh, we can't let ESPN in the deal." And we just said, "Look, let them take their picks and give us what's left." And you see the fruits of labor from ESPN. And I think we have a great opportunity to do the same thing with the SWAC, because one of the things that I think has been lacking very tremendously over the years, Jeff, is not making all sports available. I mean, we're not just doing football and basketball. We're doing all sports, all the Olympic sports, from volleyball to soccer to tennis, track and field, all those features, and be able to try to really include all conferences with that. And I think that's important, because a lot of our young black folks don't see that. They don't see how good these track teams are, where a lot of them are Olympic greats, for example, who go back to their homes to run, but they're going to HBCUs. A lot of people don't know that, you know. And, you know, another sport that I think it needs, two sports that need to be developed in our community is golf and tennis. There's some great young people coming up, but they don't get the exposure, you know, and they're not playing at the top ranked country clubs and all that. So people don't know how good they are, you know. We can open that door for you and begin to start really helping GQ public look at them and say, whoa, you know, here's another Coco Gauff that we didn't even know about coming up. You know, here's an opportunity, that kind of thing. So really the goal that we like to try to see with the network, Jeff, is position ourselves to give young African-Americans opportunity, man, and not just sports. You know, I mean, that's one of the things that we are so in a box with folks in sports and entertainment, not looking at theatrical, not looking at political, not looking at the doctors and nurses out there that are part of this great generation that come out of HBCUs, you know. And that's one of the things we want to really push out more and more every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, we're talking to Curtis Symonds, the president. Symonds, the president of HBCU Go. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. Now, Mr. Symonds, I would be remiss if I didn't ask. I got to ask because I know the people in my comments will be asking about if you can shed any light on the terms of the deal between HBCU Go and the SWAC, or is that something you can't?
I mean, we can't get into the financials, Jeff. It's a 10-year deal that we are very proud of, you know, and we're talking to all the conferences to try to work on 10-year deals. You know, we want to be the destination for Black college sports, bottom line. Absolutely. And so we want to try to build on this deal with the SWAC, with the MEAC, the CIAA, the SEAC. You know, that's the goal. That is the main goal, that we become that destination. And we're free. See, that's the big point that we want to drive. We're not on ESPN Plus, where you got to pay $4.95 to get the Black college, but we are free. And we're on broadcast. You know, and we're on broadcast. We're on, you know, a bunch of CBS owners and CWs, which now cover about 70% of the African American households. So you'll know where that destination is come Saturday. That's the key, Jeff.
I agree. I'm right there with you, Mr. Curtis. Now, I have to ask you, what is the significance of the 10-year deal? Some people will say they feel like maybe that's too long or whatever. To that, why do you say that's significant?
Because to lock in the 10-year deal? Take time to grow the business, man. You got to grow the business. Black college sports has not been a highlighted business. It's been a spot-on business. You know, most people only can really relate to the Bayou. When you talk about Black college, but the first thing they you know about the Bayou? That's about it.
Yeah.
Now you get an opportunity to see the Magic City Classic, you know, Orange Blossom Classic, and more out there. State Farm Classic, and more, Southern Heritage, all those. Now you start seeing more of them on a regular basis and be able to really find more ways to open more doors, per se. And that's really what it's got to do, Jeff. It's got to open those doors, you know, and that's really the key. You know,
absolutely. Now, Mr. Curtis, you mentioned two other conferences, the MEAC and the CIAA. You said you want to do those deals. Is that something that's in the works? Is that something that could possibly happen soon, or what's the timeline like on that?
All conferences, we're talking to everybody right now. The only one that we're getting ready to get engaged with is SIAC, because they just got a new commissioner, Anthony Holloman. So we're starting a conversation with him hopefully next week, but we're in deep conversation with the MEAC and CIAA already.
Oh, that's good to hear. I know that we got some MEAC fans, some CIAA fans, and would love to see their schools, their favorite schools, their alma maters on a regular basis on either linear, digital, all that stuff. So that's exciting news to hear. Now, Mr. Curtis, you talked about your pregame. You got the kickoff show that'll take place this weekend. Just talk to me about the kickoff show, man. What are you excited about? What can the fans expect?
Because my phone's about to die. I need to go back in my office and put my charge on it. So
that sounds good.
But the kickoff show is going to be very exciting. It's being hosted by the legend Charlie Neal and Greg Coleman, who played for the Minnesota Vikings and went to Florida A&M, one of the greatest punters in the history of the NFL. So we're very, very excited about the pregame show, which will be an hour-long preview of Black college sports. And it will be when we're going through every conference, you'll hear from different former NFL guys who have who came out of the SWAC or the BAC or whoever, and talk about their time there. So you will get a real flavor of what's happening this year, and that's really the key. That's going to be the real key going forward, to give everybody the idea of what's going on with black college sports. And Charlie, as you know, is a legend in anybody and everybody in the game. So he really tipping this thing off right to drive people, to watch what we're doing.
Absolutely. And you said that is this Saturday at noon. It's an hour long, or is it 3 hours long?
3 hour long.
3 hour long. Woo.
3 hour long.
Hey, it's gonna be jam packed. It's gonna be a must see. Now, as far as your reporters and your broadcast team for the season, will it be those two as well, or what's the broadcast team looking like?
It would be Charlie Deal and John Kelly in the booth, and then we'll have Ashley Harley down on the doing the sideline for us. That would be the team. And then we'll probably, as we move forward, we want to play around and have a few other people, that will join in. We're hoping to also have maybe a special NFL former HBCU grad in the box with them as a special guest.
That'll be awesome. That is awesome to hear. Now, as far as the production of the game, sometimes I'm gonna tell you, Mr. Curtis, sometimes when you're watching some of these HBCU games on some of these other networks, they don't put their highest quality production out there. They don't.
We're going top notch. One thing that Byron has emphasized to myself is you're looking at a major. We're looking to put in. We brought in some very good former television guys who've been in Monday Night Football on productions. We've got guys produced and directed who have got years in the business. So you will see a quality product. You will not see what I would call bad television. It will be a quality product, because like I know, Jeff, you got to make your fans, feel it. And if they don't feel it, you only got one shot. And if they don't feel it, man, you're not gonna keep them. So our goal is to put on a great show, so that people walk away saying, "Damn, that HBCU Go, they got something clicking here." That's the goal of the network, is to basically have it to where we're one of the best in the business.
Absolutely. That is amazing to hear. That is great to hear. Now, Mr. Curtis, as far as the future of HBCU Go, you told us that there's a 10-year deal. You're looking to strike deals, and you're in deep conversations with other conferences. Let's think after this season. What would you call a success from HBCU Go? Is there a certain number that you're trying to hit? Is there a certain look that you're going for? But what can you, after, let's just say this football season, because this will be the first thing to jump off. How would you be able to look back and call this a success? Is there certain measurements that you're looking for to be able to do that?
I think that the success of it, Jeff, I've been on the ground floor with both ESPN and BET, and I think the success of it will be the buzz. If we create, yesterday I went to the US Open because the USTA had an HBCU day there. And Hampton's band was there performing, and they had a DJ. They had a really nice atmosphere around the US Open. And I was impressed when I mentioned HBCU Go to one of the Hampton folks, and he said, "Oh man, I know that channel. I know what you're talking about." And he was a PR director. The buzz that I want to feel is in the universities, knowing that we're doing the right thing in our delivery. That if we're driving the brand, people start saying, "Damn, this HBCU Go thing is growing," and you got to have the foot soldiers on the campus. And in today's world, as you know better than I do, Jeff, the social media world behind you, clicking it every day, say, "Man, you guys doing some wonderful things." Just getting that CBS tie-in was huge. Huge. To me, it's somewhat, Jeff, put us on the map. Because people were coming out the woodwork calling me, talking about, "Damn, man, That's unbelievable. You got CBS, O&O's doing. It ain't just gonna be on HBCU Go. On a digital channel, you got it on an O&O's, and you're covering 60% of Black households with it. Damn! In your first year, that's a good number, Jeff. Can't knock that, man.
It is in year one, like you said.
Right.
Year one.
So, and I'm talking about when you look at the markets, you're like San Diego, Black College Sports. There's some markets you'll be shaking your head, scratching your head on. Really? They want to watch it, but they do because it's part of our culture. Drives so much, and people haven't seen it before on a regular basis. Now they get to see it, so why not open the door?
Absolutely. And Mr. Symonds, I saw, because I watched your interview from Dr. Cavill. Shout out to Dr. Cavill.
Oh, okay.
And I saw that you spoke about how originally it was tough for you to get advertisers, but since you've been partnered with Byron Allen, it's been a little easier. Walk me through that process for folks who may not have seen it. What's that been like?
One of the things that Byron has done a tremendous job on is talking to the advertising community and saying, listen, you need to do a better job supporting Black-owned business. You keep saying after George Floyd, you're going to spend money, but you haven't really dipped your foot into the ground. You've got to put your toe in the ground, and that's about it. But you haven't put your foot in the ground. And so when we came on board with him, back in October, people started putting their foot in the ground with us. And we're starting to get some great momentum. Now it's about us to deliver because we've been selling the vision. Here's how we want to build this thing. And a lot of the sponsors that we've got done so far, they're doing it because they understand we're trying to build the culture. They're not coming on and saying, hey, we got to have a certain amount of impressions. We got to have the CPMs. They're understanding that it takes time to grow it, Jeff. And that's really what we're all about. So if we can get that rolling in the right direction, that's what it's all about, man, at the end of the day.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Now, Mr. Symonds, I'll get you out on this. I just want to ask you, how much will HBCU Go be able to push the culture and push things forward, not just for the SWAC, but also just for Black college sports and Black college lifestyle in general, as far as being in all these different markets, being able to reach all these different people? Just how big do you think this will, or how will this benefit the universities that come and attach them and become in a partnership with you all at HBCU Go?
Well, I think there's two ways that I hope to impact the university. Number one, I hope I can drive, students to the universities, because now they'll be able to touch and feel it. No longer would they have to depend on a counselor to say, hey, here's some information on Central State University. But you're in New York. I don't know if you want to go to Ohio, versus where they can see it, look at the opportunities, feel it, and say, well, wait a minute, this might be somewhere I might want to, dip my toe in, And then I'm hoping that we can also, help drive dollars. I'm hoping that, by having this network and giving more schools exposure, maybe you get more sponsors who will go on, or grants who will go on the campus and increase their endowment, their funding, and help grow it. And then I'm hoping also, too, that some of these companies will pay some attention to facilities and say, hey, wait a minute, let's outfit all communication departments within HBCUs and bring them up to speed. So I'm going to spend $20 million across the board of all HBCUs who have a production house, and bring them up to spec. That kind of thing. And then the other thing I'm hoping is that, for mentorship and internships, we could create a job pool that opens more doors for people like yourself who are having to do a podcast but have talent, but no one seems to know where Jeff is at the end of the day. And there's no one behind you in a big way creating that house for you to say, damn, there's a young cat man down here doing his thing. Jeff is rocking, man. Don't know that. And that's what's missing. So I'm hoping we can drive some of those steps, Jeff, move forward.
Hey, that would be awesome. That is something that's a power move. That is something that could shift a lot of things.
I hope we can get there, man, because I got to tell you, Jeff, I'm at the age now, I'm 67, man, and I really get tired of the lip service, man. I was, when young people look at me and read my resume and everything, they're like, God, dog, man, you really did a lot, Mr. Symonds. How did you touch it up, man? Let me just say this. Right plate, right time. That's all. And I was lucky. I was fortunate. I had people who believed in me and were able to position me to give me the opportunity to climb up the ladder. That's all, Jeff. And when you get that door that opens up, you got to close it. You can't waffle on it. You got to close it. You know, and if you do it, opportunities grow for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Once again, we're talking to Mr. Curtis Symonds, the president of HBCU Go. Mr. Symonds, I appreciate it. Taking a few minutes out your day. I cannot wait to see the product this season. I know everybody's excited about the 11 featured games, the kickoff show, and everything in between throughout the season. This is going to be it's probably one of the most anticipated SWAC football seasons in the last 20 years or so. So I can't wait to see the product that you all are able to put out this year.
Jeff. We appreciate you putting the word out there, man. Let everyone know that they can watch us this Saturday on Roku. They can watch us on Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and then on our apps with the Island Media Group on Sports.tv, local now.
Yes, sir. And that is the HBCU Go president, Mr. Curtis Symonds. Thank you all for joining in, and we will see you next time. Peace.